This video is made for an adult audience. Hey Brick fans, welcome back to the Brick Bakery, where all our jokes I have baked. I'm Jacob and today it's time for me to work on a Ninjago inspired building for my LEGO city. In my old LEGO city, Bakersville, there was a building that was inspired by the Ninjago theme. I called it the Ninjago Pharmacy, I think. And I really like working with that style of building. So today I'll be doing work on that for my new LEGO city. And speaking of my new LEGO city, last time in my last video, I asked you folks what name I should be using for my new LEGO city. I suggested myself that it could be New Bakersville rather than Bakersville, and there's been an overwhelming amount of support for this new name. So New Bakersville it is, but without further ado, let's get into building. I have a lot of these 16 by 32 base plates. You can see all the ones I have here. So I thought these would be great to use for some half modular buildings. I don't know, a modular building can be any size basically, but this, compared to the sort of official sets, this would be half a building. It's going to be a normal sort of building, not a corner building, because a corner build would be very narrow as the sidewalks would have to be there. The sidewalks are usually 7 by 7 if you compare to the official modulars. So making a corner build on such a small plate as this would be, to me at least, a little weird. I would prefer a full base plate had it, if it was to be an actual corner build. You could of course do a corner build like this and maybe make a point of that in some way. Maybe if you only have this kind of room in your city and want to finish off a length of modulars in a fancy way. So this is the way I'm going to start with this Ninjago inspired building, and we'll see where it goes from here. I've had this vague idea of how this bottom floor should look, and this is something like this. I could of course use windows like this, but because this is going to be taller, I was thinking that these might look better farther up the building, as you could more easily see them. I've also found this one. I'm not completely sure where that's from, but I think it looks beautiful and really reminds me a lot of Ninjago. So this is the start of the building, and I'm pondering whether or not I should just continue building the facade and then just fill in everything behind it afterwards, or if I should build a complete floor and then, you know, move on to the next floor. We'll see. So I worked a bit more on the front, and I do like where it is going at this point. I don't know what these pins here are specifically, but I do like the depth that it adds to the whole thing. Maybe I need to put some more stuff on this. A couple of sort of paper lamps out here, which I think looks good. Again, gives the whole thing a little more depth. And I also need to add some kind of door handle or something like that. But it's progressing nicely, and of course I need to get started on either moving upwards with the build or doing some kind of back as well. So I worked a bit on the back after I've actually added in walls all the way around. These are more or less temporary. These are just here so I can get onwards with the floor above. I'm probably going to remove some of these 1 by 2 by 5s so I can add maybe some shelves and something to the walls in general. But for now, this is just what I'm gonna do to get on to the next floor. I wanted to make the back a little more homey in some way, so I added these flowers, which I think looks pretty good. And of course, the small lamp is also a very nice little detail. When doing LEGO buildings like this, I always think there's a question of the level of realism you want to employ. So adding stairs is one of those things that adds a bit of realism, but also one of those things that's easily covered up by the rest of the building when you're done. So it's always, you know, you always have to pose the question, should I add stairs? Should I do details inside at all? But I've decided to add stairs to this one because it does add some interesting interior to a building like this. So I've added this set of stairs, and I've also made a plate like this, which matches that pretty well. So now the minifix can go up to this floor, and I'll have to move on. I'm working on the second floor here, and I'm thinking there should be kind of a balcony or terrace, or whatever you call that. So there will be sort of a depth to the building when you look at it from this side. And there'll be some fences and such here, and I think that'll be a good look. Really gives some interesting depth to a build like this, and also I think add some of that Ninjago feel, where you have different levels with different sort of looks. So yeah, I'm liking this so far. Of course, any ideas are welcome, but I'll continue working on this. So I worked a bit here on the front, and I've added these flags, but I think I'll remove them again. I do like the idea of having flags sort of waving about, adds a bit of color and some great sort of ambience to this build. I do like the depth that this gives. I think it'll look good once there's a floor on top of it. You have this sort of indent in the entire building looking like this. That'll be pretty good. I'm thinking whether or not I should actually change these fences down here, as they get a bit dark when they are black. The rest of the floor is not complete at all. I've just added these in sort of as a placeholder until I get to do something else. But right now I need to work more on the front. So I ended up using this golden piece, which I think looks pretty good. I think it's from a Friends set or something like that. And I added a couple of golden weapons out here as well. Not sure they'll stay, but the idea of having something hanging from those hooks up here, I think that's good. Also added a layer of white up here, which is gonna look pretty good when I'm done with it. I think maybe I'll change this layer to red, just because that adds a bit more color. It's very easy to get caught up in using white because I have a lot of it. But color is important, and especially in a build like this where gold, black and red are so dominant. So yeah, yeah, on we go with the rest of this floor. I think this is working pretty good, and if you put it on top of the other, I think that looks pretty good, all things considered. Yeah, I like that. Things are coming along nicely. This is the back of the second floor. I like this sort of a wooden area or a wooden wall with these beautiful windows. They can't open because of the flowers, but I think that's okay. And on the front, I've done some more work on the balcony. I've added some detailing here using some modified 1x2s and some slope pieces as well right up here, which I think looks good. Adds another layer of detail and depth for this part of the build. So I like this front. I like how the white, gold and red blend together, and yeah, I think it's looking good. I'm hoping to add at least one more floor and maybe a fourth floor as well, just because I like this idea of a tall building. So yeah, on we go. I just added the floor of the next floor. Yeah, well, this level here has just gotten its floor, and of course I need to do some stuff here to make it all equal and such. But now I'm ready to do the next floor here, and I'm thinking maybe this should have another color than all of this. Maybe go crazy and use some teal, or maybe go a bit more traditional and use some of the Harry Potter green. I don't know what this green is called, but this green right here might look good up here in some way. So yeah, that's my idea for now. That's about all I have time for today. I have really enjoyed working on this build. It's very interesting to do all those details, and the color scheme is something I really like. I'm not 100% certain what the interior should be. I have some ideas of maybe some kind of dojo, a yoga class, maybe some kind of bookshop or health spa thing. But if you have any suggestions, please let me know in the comments below and I'll be happy to hear it. But that's all for me today. I hope you'll comment, like and subscribe, and I hope to see you folks next time.